Hi, and welcome to week 5 of Intro to Grad Studies. This week, we're actually going to be talking about human resource management. So finding and attracting the best employees, and this is going to be split up into 2 parts. So the first part is actually entitled Finding the Talent. So what is human resource management, or better, sometimes known as HRM? Human resource management consists of all activities that are involved in acquiring, maintaining, and developing the talent within your organization. Acquisition includes human resource planning, which is determining the firm's future human resource needs, job analysis, which is determining the exact nature of the positions that need to be filled, recruiting, which is attracting people to actually apply for the positions within the firm, selection, choosing and hiring the most qualified applicant, and then orientation, which is acquainting new employees with the firm. Maintaining human resources consists primarily of encouraging employees to remain with the firm and to work effectively by using a variety of HRM programs, including employee relations, which increases employees' job satisfaction, compensation, which is rewarding employees' efforts through monetary payments, and benefits, which is providing rewards to ensure that the employees' well-being is taken care of. The development phase of HRM is concerned with improving employee skills and expanding their capabilities, and this includes training and development, which is teaching employees new skills and new jobs and more effective ways of performing their present job, and the performance analysis, which is assessing employees' current and potential performance levels. So the responsibility for HRM is a shared responsibility of line managers and staff of the human resource department. In a very small organization, the owner usually handles the human resource activities. But as the firm grows, a human resource manager is generally hired to take over some of the staff responsibilities. In large firms, HRM activities tend to be highly specialized. So the planning and the job analysis are usually carried out by staff specialists with input from the line managers. Staff experts handle the recruiting and the selection, although line managers are actually involved in the hiring process. Staff specialists devise orientation programs that are carried out by both the HR staff and the line managers, and compensation systems most often are developed and administered by the human resource staff. Training and development activities are the joint responsibility of staff and line managers, and the performance appraisal is the job of the line managers, although human resource personnel often design the firm's appraisal system. So we're going to look at human resource planning, and this is the development of strategies to meet the firm's future human resource needs. So forecasting human resource demand. Planners should base human resource demand on all relevant information that is available to them. The firm's overall strategic plan will provide information about future business ventures, new products, and projected expansions or contractions of particular product lines. Information on past staffing levels, evolving technologies, industry, staffing practices, and projected economic trends can also be helpful. Human resource managers use forecasting information to determine both the number of employees required and the qualifications that will be needed to do their job. So now we're going to switch and look at forecasting human resource supply. A forecast of human resource supply must take into account both the present workforce and any changes or movement that that will occur within it. 2 useful techniques for forecasting human resource supply are the replacement chart and skills inventory. So a replacement chart is a list of key personnel along with possible replacements within the firm. A skills inventory is a searchable database containing information on the skills and expertise of all present employees. So it's the job of the human resource department to match supply with demand. So once they've forecasted the supply and demand for personnel, HR planners can devise a course of action for matching one with the other. When demand is predicted to be greater than supply, they must make plans to recruit new employees. The timing of recruitment efforts depend on the type of positions that need to be filled. When the supply of employees is predicted to be greater than the demand, the firm must take steps to reduce the size of its workforce. When the oversupply is expected to be temporary, some employees may be laid off, dismissed from the workforce until they are needed again. Perhaps the most humane method for making personnel cutbacks is through attrition, the normal reduction in the workforce that occurs when employees actually just leave the firm. Early retirement is also another option. Under early retirement, employees who are within a few years of retirement are permitted to retire ahead of schedule with full benefits. Buyouts are similar to early retirement in that employees are offered severance packages to leave their jobs. As a last resort, unnecessary employees are sometimes simply fired. Cultural diversity in human resources. A large number of women, minorities, and immigrants have entered the U.S. workforce in recent decades. It is estimated that women make up about 47% of the U.S. workforce. African Americans and Hispanics each make up about 12 and 17% of U.S. workers, respectively. Cultural or workplace diversity refers to the differences among people in a workforce that are due to race, ethnicity, and gender. Increasing cultural diversity is forcing managers to learn to supervise and motivate people who have a broad range of value systems. Although cultural diversity presents a challenge, managers should view it as an opportunity rather than a limitation. When properly managed, cultural diversity can result in a stronger organization. Table 9.1 in your text shows several comparative advantages that creative management of cultural diversity can offer. Because cultural diversity produces both challenges and advantages, it is important for an organization's employees to understand it. To accomplish this goal, numerous U.S. firms have trained their managers to respect and manage diversity. Diversity training programs may include recruiting minorities, training minorities to be managers, training to view diversity positively, and teaching English as a second language, and facilitating support groups for immigrants. The job analysis. So job analysis is a systematic procedure for studying positions to determine their various elements and requirements. The job analysis for a particular position typically consists of two different parts, a job description and a job specification. A job description is a list of all the elements that make up that particular job. You can see figure 9.1 in your text for this. A job specification is a list of the qualifications required to perform a particular job, such as certain skills, abilities, education, and expertise. I wanted to pose a question for you on this. Do you tend to only apply for jobs in which you feel that you meet all the qualifications? If you do, I would encourage you to apply for some where you can grow into the position as well. If you already meet all of the qualifications, then more than likely a year, 2 years from now, you're not going to be as satisfied with that job. Recruiting, selection, and orientation. So in an organization with jobs waiting to be filled, human resource personnel need to find candidates and match the right candidate for each position. This happens through recruiting, selection, and orientation. So recruiting is the process of attracting the qualified job applicants. One goal of recruiting is to attract the right number of applicants, which is enough to allow for a good match between applicants and the open position, but not so much that matching requires a lot of time and a lot of effort. Recruiters may seek applicants outside the firm, within the firm, or both. So external recruiting is the attempt to attract job applicants from outside of your organization. External recruiting may include activities on college campuses and open houses, soliciting recommendations from present employers, or posting in the newspaper, online, employment agencies, etc. Clearly, it is best to match the recruiting needs with the kind of applicant that is being sought. Technology is helping in this matching process. A primary advantage of external recruiting is that it brings people into the firm who have new perspectives and varied business backgrounds. A disadvantage of external recruiting is that it is often expensive and may also provoke resentment among present employees who wish to advance within the organization, which takes us to internal recruiting. And this involves considering your present employees as applicants for available positions. Generally, current employees are considered for promotion to higher level positions. Employees may also be considered for a transfer from one position to another at the same level within the organization. Promoting from within provides strong motivation for current employees and helps the firm retain quality personnel. The practice of job posting or informing current employees of upcoming opportunities may be a company's policy or a union contract requirement. The primary disadvantage of internal recruiting is that promoting a current employee leaves another position open within your organization. Selection is the process of gathering information about applicants for a position and using that information to choose the most appropriate applicant. So when you look at employee applications, this is useful for collecting actual factual information on a candidate's education, their work experience, and personal history. The data from applications are used to identify candidates who are worthy of further scrutiny and to familiarize the interviewers with the applicant's background. Many job candidates submit their resumes to prospective employers, and some firms may actually require them. A resume is a 1 to 2 page summary of the candidate's background and qualifications. You might also have to go through employment tests. So tests administered to job candidates usually focus on aptitudes, skills, abilities, or knowledge relevant to the jobs that are being asked to be performed. Companies sometimes use general intelligence or personality tests, but these are seldom helpful in actually predicting the performance of the employee. Many organizations use predictive behavior tests, which have become more affordable with improved technology. Next, you move to the interview. The employment interview is perhaps the most widely used selection technique because it provides an opportunity for the applicant and the firm to actually learn more about each other. Job candidates are usually interviewed by at least one member of the human resource staff and by the person for whom they will be working. Interviewers may pose problems to test the candidate's ability, probe employment history, and learn something about the candidate's attitude and motivation. Unfortunately, interviewing may be the stage at which discrimination tends to enter the selection process. Some of these problems can be solved, though, through better interviewing training and using structured interviews. In a structured interview, the interview asks only a prepared set of job-related questions. References. A job candidate is generally asked to furnish the names of references, people who can actually verify background information and provide personal evaluations on the candidates. An assessment center is used primarily to select current employees for promotion to higher level positions. Typically, a group of employees is sent to the center for a few days. While there, they participate in activities designed to stimulate the management environment. Trained observers make recommendations regarding promotion possibilities. And finally, we get to orientation. Once all of the available information is out there about a job candidates has been collected and analyzed, a job offer is extended. If it is accepted, the candidate becomes an employee. Orientation then is the process of acquainting new employees to the organization itself. The orientation itself may range widely from a half an hour of informal presentations to an elaborate program involving dozens of people and lasting several days or weeks. And that is the end of the first half of this chapter. I will return. I wanted to break this up for you because it is a lot of information, and that way you can watch separate recordings at your leisure.